Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news, all right, folks. Let's dive into what might be one of the most seismic rumors in the NFL this offseason. A potential blockbuster trade involving CeeDee Lamb, the Dallas Cowboys, star wide receiver, and the New York Giants. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this real? Is Lamb really on the table? Well, according to sources close to ESPN's Adam Schefter, this isn't just idle chatter. It's a rumor that's gaining some serious traction behind the scenes, and if it happens, it could reshape the NFC East and send shockwaves through the league. Let's set the stage. The Cowboys, sitting at a disappointing 5-8 record as December 2025 approaches, are facing some tough decisions. Their offense has been struggling, and after extending Dak Prescott, they're now feeling the squeeze of the cap. They've also got a pressing need to bolster their defense, which has been allowing nearly 28 points per game, a number that's not going to cut it when you're trying to compete in the playoffs. Rumors suggest Dallas might be willing to part ways with CeeDee Lamb, one of their most electrifying playmakers, in a move that would send shockwaves through the league. The proposed deal: a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft plus Wan'Dale Robinson, the young receiver who's shown flashes but has been hampered by injuries. Now, why would Dallas do this? Well, the thinking is that they want to free up around $28 million in cap space to improve their defense and focus on drafting an impactful edge rusher. The cash they'd save could be crucial in extending Micah Parsons, who's already a cornerstone of their defense and will be hitting free agency in 2026. Plus, by moving Lamb, they send a signal that they're all in on building for the future, even if it means risking losing a player who's been a consistent deep threat and difference maker. And that's where things get really intriguing for the Giants. With the team sitting at a brutal 2-11 and firmly in rebuild mode, they're looking for ways to accelerate their turnaround. Losing Malik Neighbors, who was the team's top receiver before suffering a season-ending concussion in December, has left their aerial attack decimated. That's why some insiders see Lamb as the perfect piece to inject some elite talent into their offense and reignite the passing game. Lamb, with his impressive stats, over 500 receiving yards and 45 touchdowns up to September 2025, brings a level of play that could elevate Daniel Jones and the entire offense to new heights. Let's talk about Lamb's profile. This guy is a true superstar at the receiver position. In 2025, he's racked up 250 yards in just 13 games, along with 11 touchdowns, and boasts a PFF grade of 92. His yards per route run sit at 2.9, which is pretty elite, and his EPA per target is plus 0.18. His contested catch rate of 62% shows he's reliable in tight coverage, and his YAC yards after catch is an impressive 5.2 yards per reception. In Week 11 against the Eagles, Lamb went off for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 7 catches, a performance that exemplifies his game-changing ability. Compared to Giants receivers like Jalen Hyatt, who has an 83. 4 PFF grade and 700 yards in 2025, Lamb is a different class altogether, capable of elevating the entire offense with his talent. Now, why would the Cowboys be so eager to make this move? Well, their offensive line has been underperforming, and their offense has been leaking points. They're prioritizing draft picks, especially to find that game-changing edge rusher who can pressure the quarterback and change the complexion of their defense. They have about $15 million in cap space to work with, which could be used to extend Parsons, who's a franchise player. The risk here? Losing Lamb would be a blow to their fan base. He's become an icon in Dallas, a guy who's electrified the stadium and brought excitement every Sunday. But insiders say the internal dissatisfaction with the cap situation and a perceived need to rebuild could push the Cowboys toward this bold move, especially if they believe they can replace Lamb with a combination of draft picks and younger receivers. For the Giants, this trade could be a game-changer. Projected numbers suggest that acquiring Lamb would boost their passing game significantly, potentially increasing their receiving yards per game from around 210 to close to 284, similar to what the Bengals saw with Jamar Chase in 2021. That's a huge leap, and it could open up mismatches all over the field, especially with teams stacking the box against the run. With Neighbors out and Lamb's addition, Daniel Jones's efficiency could skyrocket. Right now, Jones has thrown for 200 yards in 2025 with a decent 84. 7 PFF grade, but with Lamb stretching defenses and making contested catches, that rating could easily climb into the high 90s, making the Giants' passing attack much more dangerous and unpredictable. The stats back this up. Lamb's Week 11 performance alone was enough to turn heads. He tallied 145 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 7 catches, showcasing his ability to make big plays. His career YAC of 800 yards and 18% separation rate reflect his ability to create space and yards after the catch, making him a perfect fit for the Giants' offense. Adding Lamb would force defenses to respect the deep threat, which would open up more room for Devin Singletary to run and for other receivers to find space underneath. It's a classic case of how a superstar wideout can transform an entire offense, and the Giants are hungry for that boost. Now let's talk about the broader implications. If this trade goes through, the Giants' Super Bowl odds would see a dramatic spike. As of December 2025, DraftKings had the Giants at plus 50 to win it all, but with Lamb in the fold, those odds could improve to around plus 20 making them serious contenders in the NFC East and the NFC as a whole. Their chances of making a deep playoff run would increase significantly, especially as Lamb's ability to create YAC and win contested catches would give Daniel Jones a much-needed weapon to elevate the offense. From a strategic standpoint, this move would send a clear message that the Giants are all in on turning their rebuild into a quick turnaround. Lamb's presence would not only boost their offensive stats, but also energize the fanbase and provide a blueprint for future success. It's reminiscent of some of the legendary trades in NFL history, where a single star player can change the fortunes of a franchise overnight. And while the Cowboys might face some internal backlash, the potential reward for the Giants is enormous. They'd be adding a player who can be a franchise cornerstone for years to come, helping them finally break out of mediocrity and establish themselves as serious contenders. Looking ahead, the Giants, coaching staff and front office would need to integrate Lamb carefully into their scheme, maximizing his ability to run routes and make plays in space. Daniel Jones, who's shown flashes of brilliance and improved his accuracy this season, would benefit immensely from having a receiver of Lamb's caliber. It's about creating mismatches, exploiting defenses, and building a dynamic aerial attack that can keep opponents honest. Plus, with Lamb's history of making contested catches and his yards after catch, he fits perfectly with the Giants' current offensive philosophy, one that emphasizes ball control and big plays. And of course, such a trade would send a message across the league. The Giants are not content with just creeping along. They're pushing hard for a return to greatness, and acquiring Lamb would be a statement move. It's a gamble, sure, but it's one that could pay off in a big way. The NFC East has been a battle this season, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. Adding a talent like Lamb could tilt the scales in favor of Big Blue, especially if they can leverage that offensive upgrade to make a deep playoff push. In conclusion, this potential trade is more than just a rumor. It's a signal that the NFL landscape is shifting. For the Giants, it's an opportunity to make a bold move and accelerate their rebuild. For the Cowboys, it's a tough choice. Do they hold on to Lamb and risk further decline, or do they pivot to future assets? No matter what happens, this story is going to be one to watch in the coming weeks. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but few would be as impactful as a trade that sends CeeDee Lamb to the Giants, changing the entire dynamic of the NFC East and possibly setting the stage for a new era of Giants football. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you believe Lamb is the missing piece to finally get us over the hump and back into Super Bowl contention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Giants news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're here to bring you every detail every step of the way. Keep the faith, stay passionate, And let's get ready for what could be a historic chapter in Giants history.